In a world where overcrowding and rising sea levels are becoming a big problem, it seems we need to come up with a fix, and fast. Now, picture a city floating peacefully on the ocean, complete with towering skyscrapers, bustling streets, and lush parks, all balanced right on top of the water. It seems like something only in a dream, but could this be the fix we need? Now, here's the kicker. Engineers and architects are actually working to make this a reality. These floating megacities could be the solution to some of humanity's biggest challenges. But let's ask the big question. Could these futuristic cities save millions of people? Or are they just a dream that's too ambitious to float? In this video, we're diving into the incredible engineering behind floating cities, the challenges they face, and how they could change life as we know it. Let's start with this. The world is running out of space, plain and simple. Coastal cities, where billions of people live, are getting more crowded every year. These cities are also the most vulnerable to climate change. Rising sea levels are already threatening low-lying areas, and by 2050, over 800 million people could be displaced. That's nearly 1/10 of the entire world's population. Think about it, where would all those people go? So, instead of fighting the water, engineers are thinking outside the box. Why not live with it? That's where floating cities come in. These aren't just patches of land on water, they're entire ecosystems designed to thrive above the waves. They're built to withstand rising seas, create new spaces for homes and jobs, and even grow food. Think of them as cities of the future, right here in our lifetime. Now, here's the part you're probably wondering. How on earth do you make an entire city float? It's not magic, it's science. Engineers rely on some of these clever principles and cutting-edge technology to make it work. Buoyancy. Buoyancy is the secret to how engineers keep things afloat. It works when an object pushes enough water out of the way, what we call displacing water, to equal its own weight. Engineers use reinforced concrete to build floating cities. But here's the trick. They add air pockets inside it. This creates a strong yet lightweight material that floats like a boat but can handle the weight of an entire city. Modular construction. Floating cities aren't built as one giant piece. Instead, they're made up of smaller sections called modules that fit together like Lego bricks. These modules can be built in factories, shipped to the site, and assembled on the water. And here's the cool part. This modular design makes it super easy to expand. Need more housing? Just add a few more modules. Anchoring systems. You're probably wondering, what's stopping these cities from drifting away? Floating cities are anchored to the ocean floor using things called mooring lines or pylons. These systems are tough enough to handle storms, waves, and tides, keeping the city right where it needs to be. Wave dampening. Nobody wants to live in a city that's constantly rocking like a boat. That's why engineers build something called floating breakwaters, which are barriers that reduce wave energy before it reaches the city. These systems make life on the water smooth and stable, so you won't feel like you're living on a giant waterbed. Fun fact: a single floating city could need over 1.3 million cubic yards of concrete. That's enough to build 40 Hoover dams. But one of the most impressive features of floating cities is that they are designed to take on some of the most extreme weather conditions. Hurricanes. Their modular design is like a shock absorber. It lets the city flex and move with the wind and waves, reducing the chance of damage. Anchoring systems keep the whole thing secure, even during powerful storms. Earthquakes. Believe it or not, floating cities are actually safer during earthquakes than regular buildings on land. Why? Because they move with the water. Think of it like shaking a glass of water. The liquid moves, but it doesn't break. Fun fact: floating cities can handle waves as tall as 15 feet. That's about the height of a one-story house. So, where are these futuristic cities actually being built? Let's check out some of the most exciting projects underway. Oceanic City. This project, planned for Busan, South Korea, is supported by none other than the United Nations. Oceanic City will be made up of hexagonal platforms and can house up to 10,000 people. It's designed to be self-sustaining, with solar panels, wind turbines, and even systems that can harvest wave energy. Oceanic City is still in the planning stages, but it's drawing serious attention as a potential solution for the overcrowded coastal regions in South Korea. Maldives Floating City. Already under construction, this city is a lifeline for the Maldives, a country facing rising sea levels in the Indian Ocean. The city will feature homes, shops, schools, and hotels on platforms shaped like coral reefs. These designs keep it stable, eco-friendly, and in harmony with the environment. Dutch floating villages. In the Netherlands, floating homes are already a reality. These smaller-scale villages give us a peek into how everyday life on water could work. The Dutch have been battling water for centuries, and now they're using their expertise to embrace it. Fun fact, the Maldives Floating City is inspired by traditional fishing villages and is being designed to house up to 20,000 people. Now, floating cities aren't just about surviving, they're about thriving. Engineers are designing them to be sustainable and eco-friendly. They are using innovative features like these. Renewable energy. Floating cities run on clean energy from solar panels, wind turbines, and wave converters. They don't rely on fossil fuels, making them better for the planet. Water recycling. Advanced systems will be able to recycle wastewater and turn it into drinking water. This creates a system that reduces waste and ensures resources last longer. Floating farms. To grow food, these cities use something called hydroponic farms, where crops grow in water instead of soil. It's an efficient way to produce fresh food without taking up extra space. These types of design features make floating cities self-sufficient, meaning they don't rely on outside resources as much and leave a smaller environmental footprint. Now, let's be real. Floating cities aren't perfect. Even though they are super exciting, they do still come with some big challenges. Cost. As you can imagine, building a city on water isn't cheap. The technology, materials, and expertise needed to design and build it make it far more expensive than traditional construction. Environmental impact. While floating cities aim to protect the environment, their construction can still disturb marine ecosystems. Engineers have to carefully balance innovation with preserving the environment. Maintenance. Salt water is tough on materials, which causes rust and wear. Keeping a floating city in good shape will require constant upkeep to keep it safe and functional. So, what's next for these aquatic marvels? Well, right now, floating cities are starting small, neighborhoods, research hubs, or luxury resorts. But in the future, they could grow into full cities with tens of thousands of people. Experts even think they could become international centers for trade and tourism. Imagine catching a ferry to visit a floating business district or spending your vacation in a luxury hotel on the ocean. Floating cities could also attract new industries and create jobs, helping them evolve into fully functional urban hubs. They're not just places to live, they're symbols of innovation and resilience. Floating cities represent what's possible when humans use creativity, determination, and technology to solve big problems. Will they save millions of lives and be humanity's last hope? Or will they remain an ambitious dream? Only time will tell. One thing's for sure, they're pushing the boundaries of engineering and redefining what cities can be. So, could you imagine calling one of these floating cities your home? Whether they sink or swim, one thing's clear. Floating cities are giving us a peek into a truly extraordinary future. Thanks for watching. We hope you love learning about these incredible floating cities. Be sure to check out our other videos and remember to like and subscribe to our channel because engineering is for everyone.